Welcome back to the Garden Report, where Isaiah Thomas had another 30-point game.
Whoa.
There was a time and place where those were getting boring and old, and then they kind of stopped happening for a while, and now it was exciting. Tonight's game was great. He had that up and under where, I mean, I couldn't believe that one happened.
Yeah,
which one?
So many tonight. And how many times I turn to you and say, just how does he do that? That would be like you and I doing that.
Well, I can see me doing it. I can't see you doing it.
30 pounds earlier, maybe I would be able to, you know, but he is incredible. Continues to amaze the fans, keep the Garden packed, and give the Celtics.
He goes at 7-footers and he scores. When he went at Whiteside, straight at him and got the ball up around him.
He went over him.
Yeah, well,
over him.
right. It was, and then he flexed
and
for
he
everybody.
Doesn't look tired. He never looks tired.
No, I mean,
Ever.
these
he
NBA
falls
guys.
And his head on the floor. He gets up like nothing happened. No, Rondo would have rolled around on the floor for 15 minutes until they sent a stretcher out for him. Next.
Oh wow.
Next topic.
Some serious shade at Rondo.
You know, and you make a good point because there's
Rondo's
a lot of criticism of the way that they were resting Isaiah earlier in the year. It's pretty obvious it's worked because even though he did slow down, they can still have him carry fourth quarters, and he did it in the third quarter. Or no, there was a second quarter when they were losing after the first. He brought them back in, and then the same thing in the fourth quarter.
Here's what impresses me, Jared, is you saw that lull because really the scouting reports, I think, adjusted. And people were figuring out how to guard Isaiah. Well, now he's figured out how to have them not guard him again. He's doing it again in the fourth quarter.
It's a chess match.
And the Boston Celtics, the fans are just so lucky to have this guy right now.
And it's not just Isaiah now. Before it was Isaiah. But last video we were talking about Jae Crowder stepping up. We were talking about Amir. Marcus Smart's been coming through in some winning play situations all season long. So it doesn't always have to be him, although still technically does kind of always have to be him in a way. Because like you said, when he came back into the game, he sort of righted the ship, just like he did on Friday as well.
And that brings me to my final question. They have one great scorer on this team.
Dun, dun.
They're currently tied for first place with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do they have what it takes? Obviously, the schedule's in their favor to get that first seed and actually have the top seed in the NBA playoffs. Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely. Time. Of course they have what it takes. I mean, they have a bunch of home games remaining. Their schedule is relatively soft, comparatively speaking, to other teams, other playoff contending teams. But my whole thing is 1 seed, 2 seed. I'm more concerned about who they match up with because as it stands now, it could be a number of teams, 4 or 5 different teams.
Exactly.
Who do you want to see least?
Miami or the Bucks. I don't want to see any part of
Miami. After what I saw tonight.
You know, well, tonight was completely playoff.
Without Dion Waiters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and it was a good preview for what the playoffs could be if they match up with Miami, and it's a scary thing. To me, Miami, Milwaukee, don't want any part of it.
You know what though? It's the playoffs. Like, just bring them on. You got to play them. You got to beat them. It shouldn't be a problem. If they're the 1 seed, it shouldn't matter who you match up with. If you're the Celtics, you have to beat that team. It doesn't matter if it's the Bulls. If it's the Bulls, it's going to be a 4-game sweep. It's going to be a blowout. But if it's the Heat, if it's the Bucks, it's the Pacers, you got to win that series. That's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. You know, 100%.
So not only do they want the Pacers or the Bulls so that they can beat the crap out of their star players and force a trade in the offseason, Detroit, I think, is the worst out of all those teams, by the way.
Oh, Detroit, I didn't even think about them.
I want to see Milwaukee because getting to watch a Greek Freak for that series.
Well, who doesn't? Who
doesn't? But, you know, that's going to be whoever he plays in this first-round series is going to be one of the focal points of the NBA because people want to see is Giannis going to evolve in this playoff series because the likelihood of them winning it is pretty low. Unless they're ending up with like Atlanta or Toronto, then they have a decent chance. But this is going to be a huge series for the NBA if they face Milwaukee. All eyes are going to be on them if it's that series, and I think that would be really exciting.
One more point, Jimmy. We talked about this on Friday. Al Horford coming back around. I mean, you're seeing them make a concerted effort to go to him, the ball to touch his hands, and he's going to be crucial in the playoffs. And everybody who was silly enough to complain about the contract he was given will not be complaining during playoff time because he will put in his money's worth. He's been already. So it's good to see that going into the playoffs as well.
Can he stop Greek Freak, though?
Well,
I guess we'll find out maybe. We'll find out Wednesday.
Greek Freak. We'll find out Wednesday.
We'll find out Wednesday, and then the Wednesday after that, they'll face Cleveland.
Again,
Wednesday's going to be a lot of fun for the next few weeks.
Hump day.
We'll see you then for the Milwaukee game. Jimmy Toscano, Nick Gelso, Jared Weiss, Jeremy Karpf behind the camera. Don't forget harrys.com/Garden Report for the greatest trial pack of razors that you will ever see in your life. We'll see you next time on the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.